Hey everyone, and welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into stress today. Stress, that thing that just makes you want to scream sometimes.
Yeah.
We've got some super interesting material on stress management techniques that you sent over, and I am so ready to dig into this.
Me too.
We're talking about things like yoga, deep breathing,
Oh, yeah.
even time management.
Time management is huge.
I know, right? A whole toolkit to handle those tense moments.
Mm.
Honestly, I wish I knew about this stuff back in the day. Like, remember that time I locked myself out of my apartment the morning of a huge presentation?
Oh, no.
Talk about a stress cocktail.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
So, let's just jump right in. What is stress really all about?
Well, stress is actually a super old response. It's like a built-in alarm system from way back when, like caveman days.
Okay, caveman days,
Oh,
got it.
Picture this, right? Our ancestors are face-to-face with a saber-toothed tiger.
Oh! Yikes.
That sudden burst of energy, that hyper-awareness, the whole fight or flight kicking in, that's stress in action designed to, keep us alive.
So it's like our body slamming on the gas pedal even when there's no car chase.
Exactly. But here's the problem. In our modern world, we've traded those saber-toothed tigers for deadlines and traffic jams and these never-ending to-do lists.
Oh, tell me about it.
Our bodies still react the same way, but instead of running from danger, we're stuck in rush hour traffic feeling that same surge of stress hormones.
Yeah?
And when it's like this all the time, chronic stress,
Yeah.
it can seriously backfire. It messes with your sleep, weakens your immune system, even gives you digestive issues.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah, it's like our bodies are stuck in overdrive. And that takes a toll.
No wonder we feel burned out. Okay, so enough doom and gloom. Let's talk solutions. What about yoga? Now, full disclosure, I'm kind of a yoga enthusiast myself.
Mm.
It's not just about twisting yourself into a pretzel. It's about connecting your mind and body, finding some inner peace, even when the world feels crazy.
And get this, science backs this up. Yoga actually lowers cortisol. Cortisol, the main stress hormone that floods our system when we're stressed out.
Okay, so less cortisol, less stress. I'm listening.
It's not just about feeling calmer in the moment, though. Lowering cortisol means better sleep, a stronger immune system,
Right.
even better focus.
Ooh, I like that.
All these things help you tackle stress better in the long run.
So are we talking mastering those crazy bendy poses, or can even a yoga newbie, find some stress relief?
Oh no, you absolutely don't need to be a contortionist to benefit from yoga. There are totally simple poses that anyone can do, even right now while we're talking.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Let's start with child's pose. So imagine you're kneeling on the floor, knees a bit apart, and you just gently fold forward. Rest your forehead on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a big comforting hug for your nervous system.
Ah, child's pose. I can practically feel the tension melting away just thinking about it. What else have we got?
Okay, so next up is downward dog.
Classic.
It's a classic for a reason. You start on your hands and knees and then lift your hips up and back. You want to make an upside-down V shape with your body.
Yeah, I'm picturing it.
Press your hands and feet into the floor. Keep your back straight. It's a fantastic stretch for your shoulders and hamstrings. You know those spots where we tend to hold a ton of stress?
Oh, yeah, I feel that. Okay, hit me with one more.
Okay, last one. Let's try cat-cow.
Okay.
It's this gentle flow between two poses. You start on all fours again, and as you breathe in, arch your back like a cat. Tuck your chin to your chest.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Then, as you breathe out, drop your belly down, lift your head and tailbone. Like a cow. It's great for releasing tension in your spine and neck.
Okay, I love it. Even picturing these poses is so grounding. It's amazing that even a few minutes can make a difference.
Right. And that's the beauty of yoga. You don't need to spend hours on the mat. Even short bursts throughout the day can help you manage stress so much better. It's like a mini spa break whenever you need it.
I love that. Okay, so let's move on to something we literally do all day, every day, without even thinking about its power.
What's that?
Breathing.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing how something so basic can be such a powerful tool against stress.
Well, the key here is conscious deep breathing. When we're stressed, our breaths get all shallow and rapid.
Like when you're hyperventilating.
Exactly. But deep, slow breaths, those actually activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is like hitting the brakes on that stress response. It tells our bodies to just chill out.
So how does deep breathing actually trick our bodies into relaxing?
Okay, so think of your nervous system like a car. The sympathetic nervous system, that's the gas pedal responsible for that fight or flight response.
Okay, got it.
The parasympathetic nervous system, that's the brake pedal, promoting relaxation and calm. Deep breathing directly stimulates the vagus nerve. That's a major player in the parasympathetic nervous system. It's like sending a signal to your brain saying, everything's cool, we can relax now.
Okay, I like that analogy. So any deep breathing techniques we can try out right now?
Oh, for sure. One of the easiest and most effective is called 4-7-8 breathing. You inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4.
Okay, 4.
Hold your breath for a count of 7. And exhale completely through your mouth for a count of 8. It's like a mini vacation for your mind.
Okay, I'm following along. In for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. Wow, this is already incredibly calming. What else do we have in our deep breathing toolkit?
Another great one is box breathing. Athletes use it, even Navy SEALs, to stay focused under pressure. Imagine a box with 4 sides. Each side is a 4-second count. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. That's one box. This rhythm helps regulate your heart rate and just calms your whole system down.
Box breathing. I love it. It's like a little meditation in a box. Exactly what we need in our crazy lives. All right, what's our final technique?
Okay, last but not least, we have diaphragmatic breathing, also known as belly breathing. So put one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. As you breathe in deeply through your nose, feel your belly expand, filling your lungs with air. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, feeling your belly fall. This engages your diaphragm. That's the muscle responsible for those deep, relaxing breaths.
It's incredible how just changing the way we breathe can make such a huge difference in our stress
It
levels.
really is.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Right. It's like magic almost.
And we've only just scratched the surface. Remember all that stuff you sent over about time management?
Oh, yeah.
Turns out taming that to-do list can be a total game changer when it comes to stress.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. Time management is a huge piece of the puzzle. I think a lot of people underestimate its power.
So how does it actually work?
Well, when we feel like we're constantly behind, always rushing, it creates this underlying sense of urgency and overwhelm
Oh, tell me about it.
that directly feeds into our stress levels. It's like a vicious cycle.
So by getting a handle on our time, we can actually break that cycle.
Exactly. And the amazing thing is there are so many simple, practical techniques we can use to do just that. Have you ever heard of the Eisenhower matrix?
The Eisenhower matrix
Yeah.
rings a bell.
It's a fantastic tool for prioritizing tasks. You basically divide your tasks into 4 quadrants. Urgent and important, not urgent but important, urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor important.
Okay, I'm starting to remember this. It's all about figuring out what needs our attention right now versus what can wait.
Precisely. And by focusing on the most important tasks first, we can avoid that feeling of being constantly overwhelmed and reactive.
It's about being proactive instead of reactive.
Exactly. Taking control of our time instead of letting it control us.
I love that. So besides the Eisenhower matrix, what are some other time management hacks we can use to fight stress?
Oh, there are tons. One of my favorites is the Pomodoro technique. Have you heard of that one?
The Pomodoro technique.
You basically set a timer for 25 minutes, work on a task without distractions, and then take a short break. Rinse and repeat.
Okay, so it's about breaking down those big, daunting tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks.
Exactly. And the breaks are crucial. They give your brain a chance to reset and come back to the task refreshed and focused.
That makes so much sense. Sometimes I feel like I get so caught up in a task that I forget to even take a breath.
I know exactly what you mean, and that's where those little breaks can make a world of difference. Another super simple technique I love is the 2-minute rule.
Okay, the 2-minute rule. What's that?
If a task takes less than 2 minutes to do, just do it right away.
Oh, I like that. It's about tackling those little things before they pile up and become a source of stress.
Precisely. It's amazing how much mental clutter we can clear just by knocking out those quick tasks right away.
I'm definitely going to try that one.
Yeah.
So I've got the Eisenhower matrix for prioritizing, the Pomodoro technique for focused work, and the 2-minute rule for those quick wins.
And don't forget the power of saying NO. So often we overcommit ourselves and then feel overwhelmed and stressed. Learning to set boundaries and say no to things that drain our energy or don't align with our priorities is a huge part of time management and stress reduction.
Absolutely. It's about protecting our time and energy for the things that truly matter.
Exactly. It's like saying yes to ourselves and our well-being.
This has been so helpful. I feel like I'm finally starting to understand how all these pieces fit together. We've got yoga for relaxation, deep breathing for calming our nervous system, and now time management for getting a grip on our day.
And it's not just about the individual techniques, it's about how they all work together. They create this powerful synergy, like a stress-busting force field.
I love that analogy. A
Yeah.
stress-busting force field. Sign me up. So it's not about picking one technique, but about weaving them all together for a more powerful approach.
Exactly. Think of it like this. Yoga sets the stage by calming your mind and body. Deep breathing swoops in to soothe your nervous system and release tension. And time management helps you regain control of your day.
I'm picturing it. It's like a well-coordinated team working together to keep stress at bay.
I love that. A stress-busting dream team. And when you combine these practices, they really do create a powerful synergy that can help you feel more balanced, centered, and equipped to handle the inevitable ups and downs of life.
So it's not about erasing stress completely, because, let's face it, stress is a part of life. It's about having the tools to manage it so it doesn't take over.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot, that optimal level of stress that challenges us without overwhelming us.
And you know what's really cool? It's not just about putting out fires in the moment. These techniques actually have long-term benefits for our overall well-being.
That's one of the things I find most inspiring about all of this. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving.
Exactly. By incorporating these techniques into our lives, we're making positive changes that benefit us on so many levels, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's like a ripple effect of positive change.
It really is. Regular yoga, for instance, can increase your flexibility, strengthen your muscles, improve your balance.
Right. And deep breathing can lower your blood pressure and boost your cardiovascular health. And effective time management that can increase your productivity, help you stop procrastinating, even free up more time for activities you enjoy.
It's about investing in yourself and your well-being. And the best part is these techniques are available to everyone. You don't need any fancy equipment or expensive memberships.
That's so empowering. It's about taking control of our well-being and recognizing that we have everything we need within us right now.
Exactly. It's all about empowering yourself with simple yet effective tools that you can access anytime, anywhere.
But I got to be honest, sometimes I feel like I just don't have time for all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Between work, family, and all the other demands of life, where am I supposed to squeeze in yoga, deep breathing, and a time management?
I hear you. That's something I hear from so many people. It's about shifting our perspective a bit.
Okay, how so?
It's not about finding extra time because, let's be real, who has extra time?
Right,
It's
exactly.
about making small adjustments to our existing routines.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking I have to add another hour to my day, it's about being more intentional with the time we already have.
You got it. Maybe you swap out 10 minutes of scrolling through social media for 10 minutes of yoga. Or maybe you practice some deep breathing while you're stuck in traffic or waiting in line at the grocery store. And with time management, even implementing one small technique, like the 2-minute rule.
Ah, yes, if it takes less than 2 minutes, do it right away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That can make a huge difference in how you feel throughout the day.
It's all about finding what works for your unique lifestyle and making it a sustainable part of your routine.
Mm.
And remember, progress, not perfection, right? Even small steps in the right direction can have a huge impact.
You said it.
Speaking of small steps, what about mindfulness?
Mindfulness. Ah, yes. Such a powerful practice.
It's something we hear a lot about these days, but what does it actually mean? And how can it help us with stress?
Mindfulness is all about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about tuning into your thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they come up without getting swept away by them.
So it's like creating a little space between us and our thoughts.
Exactly. Instead of dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, mindfulness helps us just be present in the here and now.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. But how do we actually DO mindfulness? Is it all about sitting on a meditation cushion for hours on end?
Not at all. While meditation is great, it's definitely not the only way. You can practice mindfulness in everyday activities like eating, walking, even taking a shower.
So it's about bringing that awareness to whatever we're doing rather than just going through the motions on autopilot.
Exactly. Let's take eating, for example. Instead of mindlessly shoveling food in your mouth while scrolling on your phone, try actually paying attention to the taste, the texture, the aroma of each bite.
Oh, that's interesting.
Notice how the food feels in your mouth, how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Really savor the experience of nourishing your body.
It's like turning an ordinary meal into this mindful experience.
Exactly. And how about walking? Instead of letting your mind race with to-do lists or that upcoming meeting, bring your attention to the sensations of walking. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the movement of your legs, the air on your skin. Notice the sights, the sounds, even the smells around you. Engage all of your senses.
It's like turning a walk into a moving meditation. Okay, what about showering? How can we be mindful while we're getting clean?
Well, think about it. Showering can be a great opportunity to tune in to the present moment. Notice the feeling of the water on your skin, the scent of the soap, the sound of the water hitting the floor. Just be present in that experience.
Wow, I never thought of showering as a mindfulness practice, but it totally makes sense. I love how these examples show that we don't have to add anything extra to our day.
Right.
It's just about being present in those little moments throughout the day.
And the beauty of mindfulness is that it can be so effective at reducing stress.
In what way?
Well, when we're truly present in this moment, we're not dwelling on past mistakes or worrying about future possibilities.
Right.
We're just here now.
Yeah.
And that can be incredibly liberating.
It's like taking a break from all that mental chatter.
Yes.
That mental chatter that often fuels our stress and anxiety. By focusing on the present, we're essentially giving our minds a much-needed vacation. And that sense of presence, that inner stillness, can have such a positive impact on our overall well-being.
Absolutely. It can reduce anxiety, improve sleep, boost your mood, and even strengthen your immune system.
It's like mindfulness is the final piece of our stressless puzzle.
Right.
We've got yoga for physical relaxation, deep breathing for calming the nervous system, time management for reclaiming control over our day, and now mindfulness for bringing us back to the present moment.
It's all about creating a holistic approach, one that addresses not only the symptoms of stress, but also the underlying causes.
I'm feeling so inspired. But before we move on, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier, the idea that stress, in small doses, can actually be beneficial.
You're right. Not all stress is bad. In fact, a certain amount of stress can be incredibly motivating and even help us perform at our best. Think about athletes before a big game or performers before a show.
Oh yeah, good point.
They're definitely feeling stress, but it's that stress that fuels their drive.
So it's like stress can be a double-edged sword.
Exactly. It can either motivate us or paralyze us, depending on how we perceive it and manage it. The key is to find that sweet spot, that optimal level of stress that challenges us without overwhelming us. And that's where all the techniques we've been discussing come in. They help us harness the power of stress while also keeping it in check.
It's all about balance, finding that point where stress fuels our growth without burning us out.
Exactly. But it looks different for everyone.
How so?
While some people really thrive under pressure, others find it completely debilitating. The key is to pay attention to your own stress response.
How do we do that?
Well, notice how your body and mind react to different levels of stress.
So it's about tuning in to our own internal signals, noticing how we feel when we're stressed.
Precisely. If you're feeling energized and motivated by a challenge, that's a sign you're in that sweet spot. But if you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or burnt out, that's a sign that you need to dial back the stress.
And implement some of the techniques we've been talking about.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's about finding that balance, the point where stress challenges us without breaking us.
I like that.
And I think that's a perfect segue to our final topic, the crucial role of self-care in managing stress.
Self-care. So important. It's often seen as a luxury, but it's truly a necessity, especially when it comes to stress.
It's a bit of a buzzword these days, but I totally agree. So what does self-care actually mean when it comes to stress management?
It's about prioritizing your own well-being, both physically and mentally. It's about making choices that nourish your mind, body, and soul. And it's not selfish, it's essential.
It's like that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give your best to others if you're running on empty yourself.
Absolutely. When we're stressed and depleted, we just don't have the resources. But when we prioritize self-care, we're essentially refilling our cups, so we have more energy, focus, and resilience.
I'm loving this. So what are some practical examples of self-care that we can actually do, especially for managing stress?
Well, self-care looks different for everyone, but here are a few ideas. First and foremost, prioritize sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night.
Oh, sleep is so important.
It is. Sleep deprivation can really mess with our stress levels, so make sure you're getting enough rest. And pay attention to what you're eating. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods that actually fuel your body.
Food is fuel. Makes sense.
Avoid all that sugary processed stuff. It can actually increase stress and anxiety. It's like you wouldn't put low-quality fuel in your car and expect it to run smoothly, right?
Right. Okay, what about moving our bodies? How does exercise fit into all of this?
Movement is essential for both our physical and mental well-being. Find ways to move your body that you actually enjoy, whether it's yoga, dancing, walking, swimming, hitting the gym. Right.
Regular exercise is such a powerful stress reliever.
It releases endorphins, helps us process tension, and I've definitely noticed that when I'm stressed, a good workout can totally shift my mood.
It's amazing. And what about connecting with nature?
Oh, I love that.
Nature has this incredible ability to soothe our nervous systems. Take a walk in the park, hike in the woods, just sit outside and soak up some sunshine.
It's like hitting the reset button.
Exactly. Even just a few minutes can make a world of difference.
What about connecting with other people? For me, spending time with friends and loved ones is a huge mood booster.
You're so right. Spending time with people who support you can do wonders for your mood and help reduce stress. Laughter, shared experiences, those heartfelt conversations, they can be so nourishing.
Absolutely. And while we're at it, let's not forget about connecting with ourselves.
Oh, yes.
Engaging in activities we enjoy, things that light us up.
So important. Whether it's reading, listening to music, painting, gardening, playing an instrument, make time for those activities that bring you joy. It's about nurturing our hearts and minds.
Exactly.
I think this is such an important message. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle and forget to prioritize our well-being.
Yeah, no.
But self-care is essential for showing up as our best selves.
Absolutely. And as long as we're talking about prioritizing ourselves, let's not forget about setting boundaries.
Boundaries. Another buzzword, but such an important one.
It's about learning to say no to things that drain your energy or add unnecessary stress to your life.
We often feel obligated to say yes to everything and everyone.
I know.
But it's okay to set boundaries and protect our time and energy.
It's an act of self-respect.
I love that.
It's about recognizing that your needs are just as important as anyone else's.
And sometimes the most loving thing we can do is say no.
Exactly.
This whole conversation about self-care is a great reminder that stress management is an ongoing journey, not just a quick fix.
Couldn't agree more.
It's about creating a lifestyle that nourishes and supports us.
Absolutely. It's about cultivating a sustainable approach that incorporates all these wonderful tools we've been talking about to help us navigate life with more grace, ease, and resilience.
And the best part is, it doesn't have to be complicated. Even small acts of self-care can make a world of difference.
I completely agree.
Whether it's taking a few minutes to meditate, reading a chapter in a book, or just enjoying a cup of tea, find what truly nourishes you. Your self-care routine should be something you actually enjoy and look forward to.
Well said. I love that. It's not about perfection. It's about finding what works for you.
Exactly. It's your own personal self-care journey.
Your own personal spa day every day.
I like that. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground today, from yoga and breathing to time management and mindfulness, and of course, self-care. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
You know, it's amazing how all these techniques, they all tie back to that ancient wisdom of taking care of ourselves.
It's like we've come full circle.
Right. It's not a new concept. We just need to be reminded sometimes.
And I think one of the biggest takeaways is that stress management isn't about eliminating stress altogether.
Totally agree.
Stress is a part of life. It can even be a good thing sometimes, right?
Right, absolutely. It's about finding that balance, that sweet spot where stress challenges us but doesn't overwhelm us.
Exactly. And we have all these amazing tools at our disposal. Yoga, breathing, time management, mindfulness, self-care. It's like a whole toolkit for stress resilience.
And the best part is, you don't need any fancy equipment or expensive memberships.
It's all within us.
It really is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into stress management, any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
Be kind to yourselves. Stress is a part of life, but it doesn't have to define you. You have the power to choose how you respond to stress. You have the power to create a life that supports your well-being.
Beautifully said. All right, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive. We hope you found it insightful, inspiring, and empowering. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and remember, you've got this.